This place is beautiful!
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renin sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnagan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnagan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnagan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagan had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagan was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less. She would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty, instead I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renin oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right. Alphen,
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Did we really just spend that much money?
This is great. The taste and aroma will blow everyone away.
Damn it. Lenegis soldiers.
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight. Oh,
I am Lord Dohalim of Elden Menentia. I command you.
The rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not. If they want to fight, they got one.
It's almost too strong.
split it open!
Be my guest.
Glacial Spear! Pierce evil!
Damn it, Bennett! Demon Fang!
Negative justice!
I never miss! Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Take it!
Onboarding!
You're mine! Severing wind! Start up!
Astral energy!
Say no more.
Hear me! Flame of fury!
Take this!
Glacial Spear! Pierce evil!
Take this!
Elusive deity!
Eat this!
Freeze blast!
Take this! Blast! Dazzle!
Searing cleanse!
Blow them away!
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
Skill reflexes will not serve you well here.
Zona! Tear you apart! Super swallow dare! Here I come! Double demon fang!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah!
And here I go! To me!
You're finished! Take this!
Hear my call!
Stalagmite! You're mine! The flame inside me! You dare to be let free! Take this! Eat this!
I'm just getting started!
You're mine!
I never miss! Do it!
Rending you apart! Bloody howling! Double demon fang! It's over! Here I come!
In a bind, just the dust!
Do it! Our shield! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
I wonder if we can make new weapons with this.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Let's dispose of the trash.
Mine! Double
Not on my watch!
strike! The flame inside me! Yours!
These ones can run rings around us!
Double demon fang! Win! Take this!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
You picked the wrong fight! Heal!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes. Benediction light.
Here I go! Double demon fang! I owe you one!
Sorry to trouble you.
You do the same to me.
Shattering the pieces! Double demon fang!
Glacial spear! Pierce evil!
I'm ready!
Freeze Lancer!
Resonate with the earth!
Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
Retreat if you know what's good for you. Now you see what I can do! I'll grind you into
I never miss!
Yours to be let free!
I think I'll pass on the handshake.
Take this!
Quiver Slash!
I'll face you! In a bind?
Swallow blade!
Now I'm
You're
in the
mine!
groove. I really
You're
owe you
mine!
Not on my watch!
Eagle Fly! Dance on the wind!
Denied!
Reflect on thy
Blaze of
fate.
Spear!
They
Here's
smite with
evil.
blackened blade!
You're mine!
Freeze Lancer!
Double demon pack! Severing wind! Zona!
Quiver Dragon!
Lunar Corruption!
Rising Phoenix!
Benediction light.
You're mine! Double demon pack! Ruin gate! This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me!
Good! I'll leave it to you!
Here's a healing arm!
Burn!
I can carve through
I
armor!
owe you one! Here I come! Swallow blade! Double demon fang! Wind! Take this! Rising falcon!
I'm ready!
Take this! Flash! Not a chance!
Bloody howler!
I never miss!
Ruin gate!
No further!
Hold nothing back!
Nothing gets by me!
They smite with blackened blade!
Swallow Dance! Mega Ray! Talon Scorn! Downfall!
Another incantation ruined!
Rising Phoenix! You're mine! Swallow blade! Burn!
I'm on it! Dance on the
You're
wind!
mine!
Freeze
Double
Lancer!
demon fang! Severing wind!
Bloody howler!
Rising falcon! Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
I see one,
I can carve through armor. In a bind?
Need to water. Hear my
You're mine!
Swallow Dance!
Double demon fang!
Hear me!
Wind! Zona!
Rotating
Rising Phoenix! The flame inside me is yours! Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Here I come! Ruin! Get
The enemy wields arts too.
You'll soon see about that!
Try harder! Now!
That'll bring you down!
It's almost too strong.
Split it up!
Do it!
Be my guest!
All yours, Kisara. Benediction light.
Here I come! I'm on heat! You're mine!
Eat this!
Double demon fang! Front! Ruin again!
Searing Flame! Reload! I'm out of ammo!
Here I come! Double demon fang! Ruin again! My turn! Take this! Double demon fang!
Carve through armor. I'm ready. Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Gotta break through! You got spirit! Take it! Double demon fang!
A showdown between blade and fist.
You're mine! The flame inside me! Yours to be let free!
Annihilation!
Onward!
Hear me! Flame of Spirit burning!
Do it!
Kisara, all yours, Kisara. Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Is someone making them stand guard over the Forbidden?
Let's dispose of this trash. That'll bring you down.
Another incantation ruined. Armor won't save you.
You're mine!
As if the normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough.
This one's all mine!
Heal.
Take this! Swallow blade!
Reload!
Double demon fang!
Talon Hurricane.
Try this!
Radiant
Right turret!
Now I
Okay,
need
you picked the wrong fight!
Hear me!
Here I come!
Fury!
Swallow blade!
Not your dreams!
Go
Here I
finish
come!
it!
Resonate with the earth. Can't get out of this. Twisted
Take
Tail.
this!
Here's a
What's
healing eye!
Double demon!
Eagle assault!
Here I come! Double demon fang!
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Swallow blade!
Here! I can handle it! I'm out of ammo!
Severing wind! Zona!
Dragon shout! Annihilation!
Take this!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Ready and raring! Now you see what I can do!
Let the marksman handle this!
Elusive deity!
Magna ray!
Ancient things come to watch it! Benediction light! Swallow dance! Watch
Where are you going?
Here I come!
Hear my call!
Double demon fang!
Raw breathing!
Glacial
I
Storm!
can't
Here's
get out of
evil!
this! Talon Hurricane!
Rising phoenix!
Freeze Lancer!
Swallow
Not
dance!
in your dreams!
You're mine!
I'm just like the earth!
Too much!
No art to being interrupted! Captivity!
I'm ready! Zona! Commander of heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! That'll teach us for getting cocky. Let's
Here's
see
a
what you've
healing
got.
arc!
You're mine! It's so try harder! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Elusive deity! Leave the agile ones to me.
By the power of water!
Here I come!
Magna ray!
Ready and ready!
By the power of
Zona!
Heal!
Magna ray! Annihilation!
I'm on it.
Radiant pierce!
Begin!
Severing wind! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Do you require a help?
Do it! Healing circle!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
I'll heal you all!
Dragon Shout! No further!
Healing circle!
What's this? I can carve through
Double
one!
demon fang!
If it's in the sky, it's
Eat
mine!
this!
Rotating pile!
Eagle spray! I never miss! This is it!
Eagle Drop!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
I've used a bit too much healing.
We seem to have come across something a little unusual.
Oh man, I hope I was long enough to regret this. Engaging! Fire in the hole!
I really don't give up, do they?
Demon fang!
No Listen! I can carve through walls!
Glacial Spear.
You're mine! Swallow blade! Demon fang! Double demon fang!
Ready to go!
Take damage, Bennett!
I never miss!
I'm on it! Take this! Double demon fang! Severing wind!
Radiant here!
Do it! Phoenix!
Good world! Demon's Descent!
Flashing fang!
Now we're in the green!
Ignite!
Light.
Here I come!
Hurricane! Glimmer
Here I come! Double demon fang! Wind!
Should have messed with me!
Zona!
Flame of Astral Energy!
Say no more.
I've been doing really great lately.
Retreat if you know what's good for you. Tell me, have you ever considered your purpose in life?
Now you'll learn! Try this!
Now I'm in the groove!
You're mine!
Flame of Fury! Concentrate!
You're mine!
Far enough!
This one's all mine!
Now I'm in the groove!
No escape! Burn! Take this! Swallow blade! Severing wind! Now!
Talon Hurricane!
Swallow blade! Double demon fang!
Where are you going?
In a bind?
Here I come! Double demon fang! Severing wind! Take this!
Should have messed with me!
Double demon
Won't
fang!
save you! Listen!
That's my cue!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Here I am! Double demon!
Here goes!
Eternal torrent!
I'm ready!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Benediction light.
First aid!
You're mine! First strike! Burn! Wide open!
It won't escape me!
In an instant!
Impact claw! Don't push yourself too hard. This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Danon. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Danon astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegus. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when—
We can talk later. Here it comes!
What? I've never known Faria to control symbols like that before.
All that was a stone that looked suspiciously like a master sword.
Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handle the sewers, then we get some answers.
No further!
If it's in the sky, it's
Here
mine!
I come! My turn! The flame
are you
inside
going?
me yearns to be let free! Ignite!
Shattering of pieces! Attack!
Flame!
Try it! Infernal Torrent!
I'll finish you here and now!
Back into the
Double
forest!
demon fang!
Mega ray! Searing
Try
strike!
harder! My turn!
Healing flame of fury!
Evil God!
Demon fang!
Here's a healing art!
On your
First
name!
aid!
I could do this all day!
Here I go!
Here! Talon sword! Ready! Into the shadows!
Take this!
Mega ray!
That frickin' does it!
Try harder! Not again! You're mine! Double demon fang! Win! Zona!
I'll face you!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me!
I'll leave it to you! Stay away from my friend!
Freeze lantern! Let the mark
Not today!
Not my finest!
Healing circle!
Thanks
From beyond, imbue this
Try
vanquished
this!
soul with
Luna
life!
Infernal
I
Torrent!
never miss!
Resuscitation!
Struck!
Back into
Double
the
demon fang!
It's weakened!
This ends now! Zona!
Prepare to be sealed!
Rising Phoenix! You're mine!
Everlasting! Take this!
Double demon fang!
Will this help?
I'm just getting
Swallow blade! Moon
I'll
kick!
face you!
Whirling
snap! That hit the spot!
Gravitas field!
Can you take it?
On field! Not on my watch!
I'm ready! Double me! In an instant! Impact Claw!
I'll tear you apart!
Rending you apart! Eat this!
Take this! Now you see what I can do! Now I'm in the groove! Negative J, head up! Swallow dance!
It's trying to take us out.
So I won't go quiet!
Sorry, trouble.
You do the same for me.
Now I'm in the groove!
Burning strike!
Here I come! Double Demon Fang!
Elusive deity!
Where are you going?
Eagle take this! Eagle's eye!
No further! Swallow Blade!
There you go!
How's this?
Elusive
Here I
deity!
come!
Eagle
This
ray!
one's all mine!
I'm on it!
No! Can't end here!
What?
Are you doing? Hurricane! Flame of Fury! Not on my watch!
Eagle ray!
I'm just getting here. Let me help.
Risen
Double
fire!
Wing! Zona! This one's all mine!
Slap!
Demon Flame! Reload!
Negative J!
I'll forward all! Will this help?
Eat this!
Inspiration! I'll smash you! I'll kill you here and now!
Double Demon Fang!
I'm almost impressed. I said almost. Don't get carried
Can't
away.
get out of this! Tear you apart!
It's over!
It was
Double
nice.
Demon Fang!
Begin!
There! Got
Take this!
Swallow dance!
Radiant
Take
here!
this!
Here comes something big!
Try to dodge!
Try harder!
My rocket!
You're mine!
Begin!
Swallow Blade!
Ready!
Oh,
Finish!
now I'm real mad!
Lightning!
Incantation ruined!
Double Demon Fang!
Swallow dance!
This one's mine!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Here, let me
Swallow
help!
dance!
Ignite!
Ready to go! I'll finish you here and now! Now we're not...
You're not! Back into the fray! Annihilation!
Ready and
Do
ready!
it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Now it's just her! Varia, can you hear me? Varia!
She's preparing another summoning!
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more. Dohalim!
Forgive me.
Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case...
I'll take her off your hands.
You?
Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones, if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnagin, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember, you never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already past, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion,
Huh?
thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. We're on the same team, right? Let's move on.
Do you think Faria was really being controlled by someone?
Certainly seemed that way. The question is, who? The Red Woman?
The same person who's behind all of this, I'll bet. Whoever that is.
Brainwashed or otherwise, the feelings of resentment she holds towards me are real.
Someone used her because they knew we'd hold back. If that's not playing dirty, I don't know what is.
It does tell us one thing at least. Someone here in Lenegis is watching us. Someone who means us harm.
There's no question. That attack was meant for us alone.
By someone capable of getting inside a person and manipulating them like a weapon. We need to find whoever it is, fast.